Tech is helping us in a lot of ways these days, from our everyday lives to finding that elusive home. And how is this app using AI help its users find their dream property? Let's go find out. Joining us live in the studio is Crystal Lee Gonzalez, CEO and co-founder of NoneAway. It's a beautiful day, Crystal. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. You know, I wanted to ask you what NoneAway is all about. It has been described as a game changer in the Philippine real estate scene. Can you share with us, the inspiration of why it was created and the core problems that it aims to solve?
Okay, so why we created it, it started when I bought our second home in the secondary market. And after making a down payment, I had this fear that I was scammed. Well, thankfully, I was not.
Okay.
But what that taught me was, I made a joke to my husband that time. I was running a couple of grocery apps in my previous life. I said, how come when you buy a grocery, I can get it to you with a beautiful app, safe, simple, seamless, regardless of what you buy, from a shampoo to bread, right? But when you buy a house, there's nothing.
Okay.
There's really nothing. You can't monitor it. It's hard to find the right home. The matching takes a long time. So that's the inspiration. It started with that problem from a personal experience. So when we created NoneAway, we wanted to create an app that was simple, safe, and secure, and creates the whole seamless process from discovery or searching or matching down to closing, down to the keys turnover. So making that whole process more seamless is what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. You know, what I love about that is that you are utilizing AI to make things more seamless. In fact, we had a conversation a while ago that you're launching new features for this app using AI. And we had in that conversation, you mentioned that the Philippines is actually a bit behind when it comes to using AI in terms of real estate, because you look overseas, it's already there. And this is something that could be replicated here in the Philippines, right?
Yes, so we're quite behind, I guess, in terms of even basic things like safety, verification. And if you compare even, let's say, real estate or dating, like dating apps, right?
Yeah.
In the dating world, they've already solved this problem. Tinder, Bumble, they have everything from facial recognition to like taking pictures and all that. But if you buy a property, which is majority of us would buy a property, once or twice in our lives if you're lucky. And it's pretty much your whole savings, right? So it involves a lot of money, your whole savings, blood, tears, and sweat went into being able to pay these properties. But there's nothing, right? So we're behind on even the, I guess, basic verification, safety measures. So up to now, it's very common for people to get scammed.
Yeah.
It's very common to hear stories where they made a down payment and then nothing, right? Meaning they even made the wrong payment to the wrong person. So even that basic process of EKYC, making sure you're not sort of catfished, but in the real estate world, unfortunately, it's getting scammed with actual life money or life savings. That's what we've had to fix in the beginning. So we created a platform. In the early stages, we focused on verification, which is called an EKYC, making sure everyone in the platform is verified, they're actual users. And then all the listings are also verified, meaning when you upload, even if you're a direct owner, you're the actual owner of the property. So we have 40 billion pesos worth of verified listings in the app. And we launched on soft launch. We were in beta launch as of February 2. And now we have over 40 billion pesos worth of quality and verified listings.
I like that because the last article I did read doing research, it was at 8.8, and now the growth obviously in terms of the listings has been incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you compare it to like a dating app. Obviously, siguro hindi ka i-reject ng mga bahay, but when you look at the concept of the verification, the safety, and a lot of people are wondering, how does AI really help when it comes to that? What are the aspects of the AI in terms of the technology that makes this safer for the users in particular? Because you mentioned avoiding the scams. And I think that's something that a lot of people want to avoid in general.
Right. So it starts with even as early as the verification process of users.
Yeah.
So our AI, we require a government-issued ID. If you're a foreigner, which we allow also, even foreigners with a foreign number can register in our platform. So we're trying to attract foreign investors to the Philippines also. It starts with the eKYC. So if you submit a passport, a driver's license, our AI will detect if it's a fake.
Okay.
Because in the Philippines, especially, it's common for people to be able to submit fake IDs, right? So we had to, if we're saying we're safe, we had to make sure that, we really verify you. And even if it goes beyond just having you submit something, we have to make sure that you submit an actual valid verified one. So it starts with that. Our AI checks if it's a fake passport or license. And then down to even the searching, and then the AI also helps match you faster and better, so you don't waste time.
Okay.
Usually, a lot of people, when we did surveys and talked to our target users, a lot of their time is wasted either talking to the wrong person, for one, which we tried to eliminate. Second is the listing is not updated, or it's not direct to the owner. That's why our name is NoneAway. If you read it, it's actually no one away. So one away is the term for the middleman that brokers use when it's not a real broker. It's just a middleman.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're necessarily a scammer, but you're a one away. So you're not even going direct. And what takes the process long is that I'll ask you and I'll be talking to you, and it turns out you're not the owner, and you have to ask the owner or the direct broker. So with NoneAway, everything is direct. We only work with legitimate licensed brokers or salespeople, or the actual owner. So 30% of our listings are actually direct owner listed. So they're usually the title owner.
So you mentioned that the AI helps in the matching process.
In the matching, in the verification as well.
How does this help, personalize property recommendations for your users?
So if for those people that have tried a dating app, usually this is why I always reference to that, because it's easier for them to understand. So they ask you your preferences, right? Or the type that you want.
Yes.
So we do that also. What type of property are you buying? Is it for investment? Do you want a pre-selling? Are you looking for a commercial property? Is it for sale or for rent? So in NoneAway, we have all of these, so that when we give you the search results, down to, I guess, the basic details like, do you need parking? Do you need this number of bedrooms? It's more accurate. Because what wastes a lot of people's time is you search, and in current marketplaces, aside from it's not verified in terms of users and listings, you're just given a ton of results. Usually there's also double results. With our AI, we're able to eliminate duplicate listings as well. So when you see the list, it's sort of a curated version already of what we think you want. And when you go through initially, even if you're not sure what you want, through our AI also, we're able to detect based on you can click if it's something you like or it's not for me. And our AI learns from that. And so the more that you use the app, our AI sort of gets to know you better, and the better results that you get.
Yeah.
And then what I'm announcing today and what we're launching is the AI Concierge.
Yeah.
Where if you're not into the searching, you feel like you're not tech savvy, you don't want to go through that, you don't want to click the like or not for me. You can just go through our AI chat concierge, and that's where the AI sort of supports you with pretty much anything you need. And it gives you feedback, sort of like a real butler or a concierge in a hotel, but the AI is sort of faster and smarter in doing that.
Yeah.
So everything from you want to list a property to, especially if you want to buy a property, we're able to go through our database and our listings plus more, and the AI is sort of filtering and searching for you on your behalf. So this service not only will help brokers and buyers, but pretty much anyone who's into properties, right? It involves everything from helping you search properties to eventually helping you close properties.
Yeah.
So the AI can help support you even with titling or like property transfers, all the legalities that need to be involved. Or even if you just have a question, you're a first-time buyer, you're not sure, you can ask the AI.
Okay.
What are the things I need to prepare? How does the process go for a first-time buyer? And the AI will actually respond to you based on what you need.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like you mentioned that. Okay, first-time buyers are also considered there. But looking at the values of the properties listed,
Right.
just for those who want an idea, if I'm
Right.
not mistaken, one of the higher properties that have been listed, I think was worth 1.4 billion.
Yeah, we have as high as, I think, over 3 billion pesos
Wow.
worth
All
of
right.
listings. But we have, from all price ranges.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're more particular on when we say premium is the quality.
Yes.
So when we have in-house architects and people that check the quality, our AI also helps with that. Even from the photo alone, our AI, and double checked by our team, can sort of check if the property is of good quality. So if it's like not a good quality from the looks of the property from the photos, we sometimes do reject a property. So that's some of the I guess like add-ons that we're able to give.
Are there specific sectors or segments or regions that NoneAway is focusing on?
So initially we focused on residential.
Okay.
But we noticed that there are a lot more also commercial listings that are being listed. So for us, we're sort of agnostic in terms of what segment. Initially, we also launched in the secondary market and residential.
Okay.
But now we're also accepting pre-selling, or in international markets, they call it project selling. But
Yeah.
we're more particular on making sure we have quality property. So when we know that the developer is not legitimate or doesn't have a good background or feedback, we don't allow it in the platform.
So you really have like a screening process
We
to
do,
make sure
yes.
that both the buyers and the sellers are not bogus.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
So
And we
parang-
have a feedback system also. So
Okay.
anyone can report a listing or a user.
Okay.
So parang premium dating service, but
Yes.
I wouldn't know it. I never use those apps.
Really?
Well, anymore. But when you look at the future of NoneAway, I'm sure you already have plans in terms of where you see this app going, where you see the service going.
Right.
The growth has been exponential when it comes to the value of the properties listed, the amount of properties listed. Where do you see this in, let's say, 5 years?
Definitely what I'm excited about would be the growth with even promoting the Philippines to the real estate market abroad, even to international markets. And why this kind of platform like NoneAway is important is because international buyers, their first go-to is actually a secure, legitimate platform like ours.
Yes.
So, one of our investors is the co-founder of Property Guru. So in Singapore, and buyers from markets like more advanced like Singapore, Japan, US, their first go-to, even if they're talking to a broker already, is to check or cross-check
Yeah.
the opportunities, the value of the property in a verified, legitimate platform like NoneAway, which we don't have in the Philippines.
Yeah.
What we have are just either MLS or a generic open marketplace. We're more a closed marketplace, which is for more premium investors and buyers, even if they want to invest in a residential apartment or condo, which foreigners are allowed to do in the Philippines. They do check and want that verification. So that's something I feel like we're excited about, being able to offer Philippine real estate to even international investors and buyers.
Now, Crystal, you have experience in launching different platforms. I know you worked for Viber before, for Canva, and it makes you proud, a woman behind the growth of these platforms. And now you're focusing on NoneAway, how is NoneAway empowering women in real estate? And have you done initiatives to support this mission?
Right. Yes, so actually, I was also quite surprised how much women there are running their own brokerages in the Philippines. And I've met a couple of, it's mostly women actually, that's leading the top property developments. For example, I was just with the Shangri-La Group, Shangri-La Properties Group. We were in a trip in Singapore with our key partner, ERA. So we're partnered with ERA Asia Pacific also to, bring in properties here abroad. But it's mostly women running these big, giant properties like Shangri-La Properties. And being a woman also, I feel like it's a great opportunity. Same in tech, there's this notion, and usually it's male dominated.
Yeah.
So in tech, it's common. I usually was the only woman in the companies that I ran, or at least the woman representative. So in real estate, I noticed the same thing. It's really, when you attend broker gatherings, it's really majority are men, but there are a lot of women. And the goal is really to empower more women to join and to sort of flourish in these environments. And NoneAway being a safe platform with the whole verification and all of that. That's I think one of the initiatives that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cases where women sort of don't feel safe, or whether it's a bogus buyer or they feel harassed, sort of. NoneAway sort of protects them better with that because of the verification.
Yes.
Even as a buyer, you feel safer also because you don't necessarily also have to give your personal details. We don't give out your mobile number. So you can chat directly to each other without having to give your address, your personal information, because it's assumed that, so we have it as a company, we get it, but you don't need to give it to the person you're talking to unless you're closing a deal already and all that. But at the same time, with the next features we're also launching, like let's say scheduling a viewing or a calendar, there's also that sort of safety. Similar to, I guess, back in the days where there's Uber, where you feel safer because there's the app that actually tracks where you are. We're also trying to do that with NoneAway. So whether you're showing a property, you're buying a property, and you're visiting and no one knows about it, there's that essence of safety that at least there's a platform that knows what the schedule is, where you are, where you're viewing, where you're showing a property, which makes it safer, especially for women.
Yeah, what I love about that, it's safe from scams, it's safe, it promotes safety, obviously, in general. And also, what I like is parang nasisira mo yung tech bro culture, or that term that they have there when it comes to male-dominated tech environments. But then, of course, apart from that, I also want to focus on we mentioned that it is a premium service, and not just in properties listed, but of course, in terms of making sure that the buyers are serious, making sure that the sellers are also serious, and avoiding any miscommunication. When you look at the target market that you have, you mentioned foreign investors as well. Obviously, those who are more well-moneyed, and at the same time, also you're also targeting those who are not tech savvy. With the concierge in particular, when you look at the target market that you have here, you look at your clientele at the moment, just what is it composed of, and of course, what are you trying to reach out to more?
Right. So one of our key target audience related to women are actually women. So why women is because women are usually the big multitaskers. They're the ones that pretty much manage everything from motherhood to the household to being a wife to working. So most women now work. So one of our core target market are women of all ages, though. So from the start of when you're just renting, you started a job, maybe you're even just looking for a place to rent, you're in college. So looking at places with you, making it easier, looking at properties from renting to down to you have a family, down to you have your own business, you want to rent an office already. So our target is from, I guess, you start your life from just renting down to you're able to buy a property, down to hopefully when you expand and have a business, or you have now dispensable money that you can invest in properties. We want to be part of your journey from start to the end, right? Down to even selling or reselling your property, you're moving to a bigger home, right? And in the Philippines, our feedback that we got from even our partner brokers and brokerages, which we have now over 300 partner brokers also, is that usually even if it's the couple deciding that or looking at the property, the husband usually leans to the woman. Or the mom.
The
so
mom.
It's the mom, the wife. So we decided, okay, why don't we lock in our target to that? And it obviously made sense because I'm exactly the same. When I was buying a property, same thing, at the end of the day, my husband goes, So,
Yes, they
are
will
we
always
buying?
ask the wife.
So in the
That's
Philippines,
true.
that's something very unique that we validated, or at least we got feedback from the brokers and the brokerages that the woman is sort of the budget, sort of the auditor
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the CFO,
What-
essentially, when it makes to deciding.
What I like about this is that I can actually see your husband in the background and he's nodding. He is shaking his head. Yes, tama yan.
Yes.
So,
Because I feel like it's the woman who's going to be staying in that property for
Because also it's the
entire
woman that
day.
takes care of the property and
Exactly.
maintains and manages it.
Yeah.
So it only
Commander,
makes sense
siya ang
that,
commander.
that she's part of the actual, or she is the final say
Yes, the final
more
say,
often
correct.
than not in
Yes.
the decision making.
Ano
So there.
Ano nga ba yung sinasabi namin? Report muna kay Commander.
Oh,
So,
yes,
yun.
it's like that. The women are the commanders. But looking ahead, what are the next milestones for NoneAway?
Definitely, we're looking forward to seeing more engagement.
Yeah.
So our focus the past months was getting the top listings, the best brokers in the platform. And we massively got beyond what we hoped for in the first couple of months with the 40 billion worth of listings. And these are quality listings. We have listings that's been featured in Netflix Europe. As that's how big, how gorgeous the properties are. But our focus now would be to get the buyers and
Yeah.
to be able to provide leads to our partner brokers as well. Our goal now is to have that engagement, so be able to provide leads. At the same time, we want to now officially announce that NoneAway is open to buyers, to property owners. So we're done with the beta testing. It went quite well. And now we're really officially launching today, May 5. To anybody that's looking for a property, wants to list her properties with us, don't know how to go about it, don't have a broker yet. We have the best brokers in our platform that we will happily match them with also. So the matching goes beyond just the listings. We also match our property seekers to even brokers and brokerages.
Well, it's available on the Apple App Store and on Google Play as well. Of course, for those interested, you can go check that out. Details there are on your screen. Their IG page is NoneAway PH if you want to learn more. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you
in
for
today.
having us.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Crystal Lee Gonzalez, CEO and co-founder of NoneAway.
Thank you.